Hello, everyone. 2022. I know it's the end of January, but here we go. We are getting back into it. And what a way to get back into it with a number one best-selling author, Therese Tarlinton. Congratulations and welcome.
Oh, thank you, Karen. It's been the most amazing day. I am so excited, so pumped. Can't wait for people to read the book.
Oh, it is an amazing book. It just opens up your mind to endless possibilities of marketing without money. And who doesn't want that? What business owner doesn't want that? What author doesn't want that? And you walk your talk, and I adore it. And I want everyone to get to know you and fall in love with you, just like I did when we had that conversation, 6 months ago.
Yeah,
And if
it was.
anybody watching, I know, has a question, it'll pop up here. So ask away, okay? So Therese, can you share with everyone a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure, absolutely. So I have been in marketing for a really long time, more than 20 years. And I started out in corporate and then I started my own small business. And I was a licensee for Jeep and United Colors of Benetton and Sesame Street. So I made baby products in factories all around the world and then sold them into the retailers all around the world. And in that journey, I discovered partnerships about how to actually use other people's brands to leverage and to do cool stuff. So after that journey, I sold that company and I started working with the big brands because big brands need what small brands have, which is great engagement and connectivity, and they're nimble and agile and fast and passionate. And so that's something that I absolutely love. At home, I have two amazing teenage boys and a gorgeous husband, and a tribe of beautiful girlfriends who are all cheering today for me.
Yay. The champagne will be popping, I'm sure. And we
Straight
aren't
after
even,
this.
yeah, we are at ebook launch. We haven't even done trade book print launch yet. That's coming on Valentine's Day, everyone, in case you
Absolutely.
ask.
That is going to be the Valentine's Day to remember. Nothing ever happens on Valentine's Day in my house. So, so that would be great.
Maybe this will change all of that. Therese. Oh my goodness, there's so much I want to ask you because I understand the power in partnerships, but I didn't understand the power that small brands are and the value that small brands are to the big brands, which you opened up my mind to as well. And I will share a little bit about the book as well. And, we'll talk about a few of the chapters, not all, because we're not giving it all away. You're going to have to buy the book if you want to learn more. But if you have a question about marketing or partnerships, pop it in the comments and I will ask Therese. But Therese, what does swap mean?
So, Swap was the title that I came up with because all the partnerships that I have done over the last couple of decades don't use money. It is when two businesses come together and your strength might be that you have a retail presence or a restaurant, a physical location, and their partner's strength might be that they have really good digital or they have a great website or something like that. So the idea being that when two companies come together, and they join forces for their mutual customer. So they create something amazing for their mutual customer and they can both win in the process. But what they do is they swap. So they might borrow each other's credibility or their email list or their physical space. So it's all about joining forces and actually using each other's assets to give the customer the ultimate experience.
It's music to my ears, this swap, and I love it. It stands out and gets, oh, what's that? I want to know more. Marketing without money? Wow, that ticks another box. I want to know more. So there's no surprise that you hit number one after a few hours of being online. But Trace, it is, you don't align with with other businesses that you don't feel connected with. And it always has to be a win-win scenario, doesn't it? That's the objective here, the goal.
100%. So the business partnerships are the easiest business partnerships, marketing partnerships, are really organic. And so it's when your customer is coming to you and asking you for something that you don't make, or you don't provide, or you don't sell. That's the easiest partnership. So my beautiful girlfriend creates beautiful bespoke furniture, and she's always getting asked about how you maintain it and how you clean it and how often that should happen. And so she's doing a series with a dry cleaner and a leather maker about how to actually care for your furniture that you've invested a lot of money in, to keep it in really good condition. So this is where I'm saying they're two, that you've both got the same customer. You're not competing with each other. You're just making the customer's life even better. And absolutely, look, the spirit of partnerships is to offer more than you ask. So to go in it with a generous spirit. And it is about the customer. This is not a bartering system. It's not, I'll give you 2 Facebook posts and you give me 1 email. This is about, we're going to create something amazing for our mutual customer. And so what are all the tools that we have in our business to actually be able to give that amazing service? And so that could be around data that you have that you could share. It could be around, the boxes that leave your warehouse that have a flyer or a coupon in them. It could be about a space that you have in your restaurant or your retail store where you could actually have a pop-up for another local business. So really, it's just that one of those things of really going into it with the right spirit and making sure that, yeah, absolutely, you are both winning in this. You are both winning. But the customer is the biggest winner.
Yes, it's about serving well, isn't it? And giving the experience, going, Therese introduced me to this service. I would be forever grateful. And that's the thing is whenever we partner and collaborate with people, it's like I have worked with this person, I know what they have, but it's also to give your customers make life easier for them, make their experience. You go back to that, with the person who has the furniture, and then, how to care for the furniture. Well, that is just giving, it's just a no-brainer, really. But many people don't see those opportunities to cross promote and to really serve well through that in all ways.
Absolutely. And it could be really simple. I have another friend who is a beautiful artist, and so she's collaborating with interior designers. She's also collaborated with a sculptor, and they've created a collection together, and they launched the collection in one gallery with both their audiences, and they sold out within one night. So it's really about who can you combine with, where it's an ultimate kind of 1 + 1 = 3. What could you put together that actually is even better than you both separately?
It's so much more fun too, isn't it, Therese, doing it together? It's just so much fun. Playing to your strengths.
I think as a small business, when I had my small business, the toughest thing is you're doing it all by yourself, and you're trying to come up with the ideas, and you're trying to come up with the budget, and you're trying to come up with the energy and to do it all. And the beautiful thing about collaborating with another motivated business owner, or it might be a motivated marketing manager of a big company, is that you're actually both entering into it feeling like, okay, what can I actually give? But from a small business point of view, when you're not alone, and you've actually got someone with you that is going to cheer as loud as you when you both win. And that's fun. Absolutely. It's just more fun.
Oh, and we have a question here, or a comment from the amazing Georgie Donaghy. And I adore this woman, and she's on my to-do list to connect with today. Might be tomorrow, Georgie. I'm just back at the helm. And Georgie is a one-woman show, but she has created something amazing in the creative industry, and she's got creative. I'm just going to go. I don't want to get it wrong, Georgie. You've got Creative Kids Tales. She's the founder there, but also at the CKT Speakers Agency, she has her own publishing imprint, and that's where we get to connect and chat. And like we are that. We're a partnership. Like, look, we adore each other. She loves me too. There you go. But it's fun. We enjoy connecting. Whenever our meeting of minds, there's just things that happen that doesn't happen on your own. But Georgie mentioned that I love the concept of marketing without money. All small businesses that I know of struggle with money for marketing when beginning. See, there you go.
Yeah, but you know what? I guess I want to. This is about, as I said, it's about swapping. It's about using all the assets in your business that you've built, you've created. They're worth something. They're worth a lot. Other people would kill to get their hands on them. So it's not free, because if you do great marketing, then you're both creating things together. It might be an article, it might be a video, it might be that I've done great partnerships where what the other partner has created, I've actually used those for Facebook advertising. And so you're still contributing to marketing, but it's more effective. And it is more effective because somebody else is telling your story. It's not you going out and saying me, buy me, buy. It's actually somebody else saying, hey, I had this problem, or I wasn't able to do this, but actually I found something that could help me. And so when other people identify with that and they connect with that, and it just makes it more powerful. So it's being able to actually use your budget in a better way, more kind of smart marketing. And I guess what I want everybody to do is just like rethink marketing. It doesn't have to be about paying for promotion on Facebook ads.
Yes.
I want you
Please,
to
guys, please listen to that, because, I've had my biggest success stories have been through genuine connections and collaborations with people that many people don't see value in. And I'm like, wow, I see so much value in this collaboration. And there's no money exchange in hands, just time, because time is very valuable, and expertise. And then when two geniuses combine, or two meeting of minds happen, there's so much value in that. And it's unique, and it's something, that you can bring out into the market and serve you and serve others. Like, oh.
Absolutely. And I think that as well. And so when you're in that environment, like I'll say to you, Karen, hey, I've got an idea. And then you'll be like, oh, and you know what? We could do this. And then I'll go, that is a great idea. Do you know what else? We could do this as well. And so it's the combination and the energy that, one person comes in contributing, the next person comes in and contributes something else. And then you just start layering it until what was a seed of an idea grows into this beautiful, well-formed, full campaign that will really surprise and delight your customer.
Do you know what? I'm looking here at this flip book, and I'm going through the contents, and we have touched base on a lot of your content. But one of the ones there's two here that I want to pull, just extract a little bit of information out of you for our readers, our viewers, because they will want to get the book. Chapter 2, different types of partnerships. If you can just, niche them down a little bit so that people can understand what that is.
Sure, super easy. So there's 3 main types of partnerships. One is when you use your product. So product in the literal sense, in terms of it could be a gift with purchase or a trial or a sample size or something like that. But also in a bigger sense, in terms of if you create products, then you have a procedure, you have manufacturing, you have safety, you have logistics, warehousing, you might have to appeal to a safety standard, all these things. So don't just think it's the end product. The product is actually your product knowledge of how to bring something to market and how to sell it and what the customer actually wants. That is of great demand to other people. So the first one is where you use your product. Yeah. The second one, or probably in a good example of that just recently, is 4 Pillars Gin, my favorite gin. and go to skincare. So that's Zoe Foster Blake. And they
Yes.
teamed up and they created the 4 pillars go-to gin. And it was apricot, like Zoe's brand. It actually came with a face mask, and it sold out. That whole capsule collection of gin sold out in about 2 hours. And so that's a really good example of the gin has a beautiful market of women. Zoe was really great at doing that. It was 2 complementary brands that shared the same customer, didn't compete. And so I could have that gin experience and trial the skincare as well. So win-win. Amazing.
Mm. And
So
it is win-win mentality, isn't it? That is amazing.
Has to be. The second one is digital. So digital are like the easiest ways that you can start collaborating. So every single day in your marketing, you should be creating content. And now whether that is an article, a video, photography, it could be a social post. It could be anything like that where you're actually just creating content. And it is so easy to incorporate other brands into your content. And you should do that because it makes the story better when you're not just talking about, your product. So it makes a more holistic story. So I actually have done things like with when we do the block, and I work with High Pages. And so we talk about how to create a beautiful first impression on your home. And so we talk about all the trends in building and what that is. And in those backlinks, we actually have backlinks to building products, and we actually have backlinks to High Pages so you can find a tradie to do the actual building of your home. So again, it's about creating content. And with that article, that was shared on CSR, and that was also shared on High Pages. And then it got picked up by media as an article. So it's those kind of things where you're creating a digital asset. But it's about the storytelling. It's something that your customer really wants to know. They want to know about what trends are happening in building homes. And so you're creating something, both of you are winning. Super, super simple, easy first step. You can do it with no money, and you could approach a brand and you could actually just write the article, include the brand in it, and then just share it with the brand and say, hey, I love your brand. I've written this article. Hope you like it. Love if you share it. Could be really simple like that.
Absolutely. Goodness knows. And I love how you just mentioned the block. I was going to talk about this because you have worked with some like United Colors of Benetton. I just love that brand, back in Ireland. I just loved going into that store. It was just so luxurious. But you have worked on the block, which is, we all know the block. And so how is that experience for you? And how do you, what did you learn from that experience, or continue to learn or share?
Absolutely. So when I was working, globally with big brands like United Colors of Benetton and Sesame Street and Jeep, those brands are known across the globe, of course, but within each individual market, slightly different. So in Australia, United Colors of Benetton was only in David Jones, and it was an aspirational brand. Yeah. Whereas in Europe, it's on every corner, and so it was a little bit more sports girl, a little bit more kind of achievable fashion for everybody. But as I said, Australia, David Jones, high end, and so being able to actually take the inherent values and qualities of those brands and translate them culturally into the country that you're in to make sure that they're hitting the right mark. And what that enabled us to do is when we created Benetton strollers, they were sold in David Jones and they were a higher price point. And then the range that we created for Europe was actually at a slightly lower price point. So it was about kind of understanding what the brands mean and what you can do with them. And right now, absolutely, I've been working with the block for a few years, and that's a really fun program to work on. You can absolutely get your products in, it's called product placement. So actually get your products on TV in all different types of shows. I've been doing that on TV for about 16 years. It's absolutely achievable as a small brand operating out of your second bedroom. But the block is a massive show, and so not only does it have contestants, it has lots and lots and lots of tradies. It has, you know, the furniture brands come in, the soft furnishings, artists. So beautiful artists. So my girlfriend Tony, we were able to get her T.H. Brown bar stools in Mitch and Mark's house. And so it's really understanding where you can leverage it. So, for example, we worked with the contestants, but I made sure that I decked out the tradies in branded clothes. So in the back of the shots, you'd always see that brand.
And you can leverage the life out of that, can't you? You can, and that story, everyone loves those stories of, you know,
for sure. And your word leverage is 100% correct. So the whole thing about when you do something, it's not about just the literal thing. So it's not just like I've got 15 minutes of fame on a program. It's about how you take that 15 minutes of fame and you leverage it. You make sure it's on your point of sale. You make sure it's on your website. You create a brochure out of it. You create 5 looks under, you know, a certain amount of money. You take it and you milk it, you wring it out, and you actually make 100 opportunities out of that one opportunity that you got. And that's what it's about. And also think of those other brands that had that exact same opportunity as you. So maybe they were in the block and they were in the lounge room as well. And actually, again, putting out content where you're actually saying, look, we look at this look. This look was created by all these brands, and you share.
Connecting with them, getting into their audiences and sharing them with your audiences. Oh, goodness me. I'm just like, wow. Georgie has asked here, what if you are the product? You know, like your knowledge or your experience that you're sharing education.
Great question, Georgie. I love this one. So that is, and you're right. Like when you talk about, you know, the 3 different kinds, there's product, service, or in person. And in person is really valuable because your knowledge, your experience. So you might come from a family that is really known, like the McGuigan family, or the, you know, another famous family like that. But you also might have been a TED Talk. You might have been the head buyer for David Jones. You might, like, all these things that actually are your tapestry of experience come together to create something that is really marketable. So brands definitely want to work with personalities or people that are leaders in their industry and can create and engage an audience. So that is around and so I would absolutely say my tip would be find the brands that you want to work with. And maybe that might be a big bank, or it might be an interior designer, whatever the brand you want to work with. Find the brand you want to work with and then stalk them and look through all their social.
In a loving way.
In a very social way. And just find out pretty much, like, what are they lacking? What don't they have? So what are they good at and what are they lacking? So, and what you'll probably find is most brands lack video. Most brands lack video. So if you approached a brand and said, every day I get asked about how I do X, and I always answer that I incorporate your product or use your product or recommend your product. And so I would love for us to work together to create a series of videos, or to create something else. It could be written, it could be any sort of thing, it could be a brochure for me to help educate your customers on what are the possibilities. And so that is for an individual. Absolutely, podcasts, massive, huge. And podcasts are an incredible form of content, an incredible medium, because most content's quite short. So it might be 200 words, or it might be, a LinkedIn post or a tweet or something quite short. Podcasts are amazing because you've got at least probably 20 minutes of talking about your why. and about your what and about your how. And that is an incredible emotional connection. I don't know how many times I've listened to podcasts and literally just jumped on and started following or shopping or, finding out more about that person, because it wasn't one dimensional. It was really seeing what that person stands for, as well as what they produce or make or sell. So as a person, I would say 100% contact brands, definitely look at podcasts, definitely look at what content that you can create that can incorporate other brands. And again, that knowledge that you have. So it could actually be about safety standards or testing or like the secret sauce in what you've got.
Absolutely. Great answer. I hope that answered your question. Georgie says, oh my God, I love that. Permission to stalk. Too funny. You stalk away, that's how you learn things,
I'll rephrase that. It's called research. Research.
Research.
Is what you would like to work with.
I knew we would just get talking and time would be running away on us. Therese, I just knew it. So, but just before we finish up, so chapter 7 is play the bigger game and share the love.
Yes.
That just calls to me. People need to think bigger, don't they? And do it in a loving way.
Absolutely. And that's really simple. Your most important partners could usually your first partners being your stockists or your resellers, like it's people who actually take what you have and get it out to a wider audience. So when you've created a partnership, it is about keeping them and sharing that with them. Let them know about what you're doing. Let them know the collateral you're creating and the content, and let them enjoy it. How many times have you been into a store and they tell you about the restaurant has a certain amount of hats, or the dress is actually being worn by a celebrity, or an event had an amazing speaker that wanted to be part of it. So the storytelling is how you buy into a product, and your stockists are your best partners. They are an extension of you. They get to talk about you all the time. So keep them in the loop and create collateral for them, depending on whether they're e-commerce or physical store. So it might be point of sale or it might be digital assets, but share that with them. They will love it. They need extra things to talk about. And also around, also share the love within your industry. So there's always industry websites, news, magazines, and they want to know what you're doing for 2 reasons. One, because people in your industry are like, hey, I've never thought of that. That's pretty cool. And it actually expands the industry. And I say a high tide rises all boats, right? So as in make your industry even better. But also they're not full of content, and so they're looking for things. And also it might be your next employee, in terms of people look at companies that are doing great things as I would like to work for that company. So that's the thing. So I would share it with your retailers or your stockists, share it with your industry, and of course share it with media. We have created amazing media opportunities out of some tiny little small thing, because we've actually worked with the media outlet to say, what do you need? What do you want? Can I give you a behind the scenes home tour? Can I create something for you? And so that, again, out of one partnership, you've actually created a whole force of people talking about it within a retail environment, people talking about it all about through your industry, and actually through media as well. And that's what I mean. Share the love. They want to ride that magic carpet with you as much as possible as well.
It's all about getting people talking and having the conversation. It is that, and that is, and being visible and showing up and seeing opportunities where you may not have seen them before. And just working with what's around you and growing it and thinking bigger, isn't it, Therese?
Absolutely. It's just time to, just rethink your marketing. You don't have to do what's traditional. You don't have to do what's expected. Just think about it in terms of, if I was in my customer's shoes, what would I love to happen? What would I find really exciting? And then I guess like look at who are the other businesses that you could work with and create something truly amazing. You know, it's a win-win for both of you. And don't be afraid to actually just, you know, explore the possibilities, to brainstorm, you know, as we talked about, to layer those ideas. It might be really simply, you know, I talk about get an easy yes. So an easy yes might be that you write an article and you include that brand and they might share it on their channel. That's an easy yes, right? Didn't cost
Make
them
it easy
anything.
for them. Make it easy. Yes.
Make it easy. Get the easy yes. So get the easy yes. And then once they see what you do, then you're like, hey, I've got another idea. And so it's really about like what just, you know, like nurturing that relationship. You know, you wouldn't get married on the first date. So, so definitely, definitely just, you know, develop these relationships and see what works for other brands. And you can develop some amazing relationships where you know, you really can benefit. And as I said, it's just more fun.
It is more fun. Well, I can vouch for your book. I love it so much I published it. So everyone go out and get your copy of Swap, Marketing Without Money. Let your mind be opened. You know, Therese is such a well of information, and you've worked with so many amazing brands. So you've seen it all. You know how to do it, and your energy, your vibration, and don't be afraid to ask. Just
Yes.
ask. What's the worst that can happen? And no, or not now, but maybe in the future. Kez says she loves this conversation. Hey, Kez, glad you enjoyed it. Kez will probably review your book now, Therese. She's an amazing reviewer.
Fantastic.
Everyone, you can get your copy of this book wherever you are in the world if you visit www.kmdbooks.com/swap. You'll find some interview. This interview will be in there, and you can find out more about Therese, and also find out where you can grab this book anywhere in the world. Print books are released on January 14th, but now you can come and join the tidal wave of people who brought this book to #1 today by grabbing your Kindle copy. And we would love to know what you think of it. Come and share your ideas with us. Send us your selfies. We want to cross promote you. You invest in this book, we want to showcase you. So come and do that, and let's market without money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we all know shop local. It's time to swap local. Okay. We want to see lots of brands. We want to see lots of brands doing great things.
Love it. We're going to leave you with that. Guys, Therese, before we go, where can people find you?
Well, I'm unique in terms of I am the only Therese Tarlinton in the world. So if you Google my name, it has no G, just, you know,
That's
tip
the thing.
for beginners. So if you Google Therese Tarlinton, but actually if you just, in any of the social engines, if you just type in Therese Tarlinton, I'm on LinkedIn. I'd love to chat. I'm on Instagram, and on Facebook, I'm Therese Tarlinton author. And please, this is my jam. This is what makes me happy. So if you've got a question, reach out. Love to chat. As I said, my thing, my mojo, I just want to do good things with good people. And I find this so fun. So I can do a bit of a brand brainstorm, you know, all the 5 brands that you could partner with right now. That's my thing. But honestly, reach out. Love to chat. So Therese Tarlinton, anywhere on social.
Challenge for everyone. Think of 5 brands you could partner with right now. Just stop for a moment and just dump them onto a page somewhere. Do yourself a favor. Thank you so much, Therese. It was lovely connecting. Congratulations on being a best-selling author. And the book has now burst into the world. Let's see where it goes. Bye, everyone.
See you later.